One thing all of us here at Lucky Craft, Gerald, Marty, Skeet, myself, all have in common is we've all had the opportunity to go to the Bassmasters Classic. I mean, that's the dream. You know, when we got into the sport, making the Classic was everything.
I've been real fortunate in my fishing career here at the Top 150. I've actually went to the Classic 3 times. I never will forget that feeling of pulling in that tunnel and 40,000 people standing, clapping, cheering. You know, and I knew that I was a part of that.
Your first Classic experience is absolutely the best. Going to your first Classic, it is an absolute adrenaline rush.
The ultimate goal is making the Classic, and boy, I was fortunate enough to make it this year and fish it. You go to the Classic and you come away with that first experience and everything, and I look back on it, I say it's the hardest event there is to make in all of fishing. But looking back on the Classic, I say it's the easiest event there is to win.
No pressure. You know, your first time Bassmasters Classic, first day, I was freaking out is what I was doing.
It's a tournament where you gamble. It's all or nothing. Nobody really cares who finishes second. You know, I couldn't tell you who finished second last couple years.
I did what I thought I had to do to win was go for broke, because the Classic is a tournament where there's no points, so why fish for second?
Once you experience it once, it makes you want it 10 times more the second time. Angler of the Year to me means truly the best, and that's what I strive for.
It's challenging because a lot rides on it, and you know, there's a lot of focus placed on it. And for the guy that wins Angler of the Year, it's you know, it just opens his career.
You know, to win Angler of the Year would be something magnificent, and it's a very hard feat. And my hat goes off to every guy that's ever won it, because it's without a doubt one of the toughest things to do in bass fishing.
What separates the superstars from the average fisherman is the mental side of the game.
You know, I think your preparation for an Angler of the Year title is probably done on your off season, and most anglers don't realize that. Fishing a lot when you're home, staying in touch with your skills, keeping yourself home to the water and practicing your outdoor skills. So therefore, when you get in that situation where you can make a run for the title, it's not something you have to think about. It's actually a natural movement to you.
So, you know, it's important that you're physically in shape, because it's a grind, man. I mean, tournament after tournament, it's a grind, and, you know, crashing the waves, and some of the tournaments we go through are just, it's brutal on the body. So you really have to be cut physically, mentally, and just pray that everything goes right, because it's definitely a challenge. And like I said, there's so many different variables that can goof you up in a year.
You know, I'll spend the week before around the house, just thinking about the lake, thinking about the conditions, thinking about the situations that I'll probably be running into.
It's something that I feel like you got to prepare for in advance. You know, the summertime, as far as keeping your mind mentally fit, you know, practice fishing, spending a lot of time on the water, catching a lot of fish, getting your confidence up, as well as preparing yourself physically.
You have a bad one your first event, then you got to bear down that much harder and really concentrate on each cast, each day, each tournament, each fish. You cannot make a mistake anywhere during the year.
Instincts is one thing you definitely have to go by. Being in that confident zone, it's an amazing feeling, because you feel like you can go anywhere, anytime, and you're going to catch them.
And that's a big thing with Angler of the Year. I think it's important to get your momentum going right off the get-go. That first tournament's important, and that kind of sets the tone for the Angler of the Year race.
So competitive, and the points even make it more so competitive. You got to stay focused, start to finish.
Making the right decisions, and that's what tournament fishing is who makes the best decision on that particular day or that particular week. And especially there are consistent anglers over the years is how they finish Angler of the Year or how they win Angler of the Year. Those group of guys, they're able to keep that mindset pretty focused and stay in the right zone every day, every tournament. And that's the hardest part I think any tournament fisherman out there has.
To me, I try not to get too focused on that. A lot of guys that we fish against get so caught up in on the points, and I got to catch them. And I don't know if it's just I'm just so dumb, or just I really, in my mind, I try not to let it get to me, and I just try to figure it's another tournament.
But it's definitely something that, you know, you would dream about accomplishing after making the Classic. Then you realize that, yeah, that's an attainable goal too, but everything has to come in place. I mean, you really have to have the stellar year. I mean, nothing can go wrong mechanically, physically. So many things have to go right, and it's so challenging. You know, and you can't even have one bad day in the tournament.
And all you can do is try your best. Just Try and stay positive, have a positive outlook on what you're going to do for that day, and try and remember that we're out there to have fun. It is a business, and sometimes that puts a lot of pressure on us, but we're still out there because we love fishing, we love the competition, and as long as we can remember that, and as long as I can remember that, it helps keep me in a good frame of mind.
And my hat's off to the guys that have won the Angler of the Year title, because it's a huge accomplishment. It's everything. It's an awesome title.